Hello friends, welcome to the second barrel video. So now that we've got first out of the way, we know how we're going to approach, get to our backside, leave first so we can have a really successful second barrel. So at first, like I said, we like to overturn it a little bit, and the approach to second is fairly simple. It's more the backside and the points we want to get to on second that are a little bit more complex and different than first and third. So it's a very unique barrel because it does require more of a full circle, not just half a circle like first does and like third. So when I am getting to second, like I said, I want to go nice and straight till I'm here. And I like to be literally, I'm right beside the barrel. My leg is pretty much parallel to the barrel. We're facing the fence, and I like to stop where the horse's shoulders are a bit ahead, and I'm right beside the barrel, and that is a good spot to be. You don't want to be too close to it. You don't want it to be too far back because we really want to instill to our horses the point to run to before we turn, because second barrel is notorious for shouldering. It's just a harder approach because we're running straight and it's so easy to get wonky. It's so easy to go really wide and then slice in and hit it. It's just easy to hit it in general going into it because we really need to push our horses to be beside it. So when I do slow work, I really instill that. I really make sure that I am here. My horse's shoulder is clear of the barrel, and that is if I do stop a horse, that's where I'll stop. And it always stays the same. Horses are repetitive creatures. We need to keep it consistent, and if we always stop when we're beside the barrel, the horse's shoulders clear, when they go fast, they're going to remember that. They're going to run to their spot if we let them. So we need to teach them where their spot is and keep it consistent. So when I get here, my next move is same with first. I like to just take a step forward. So from here, we take a step forward, and then we begin our turn. And so second barrel, the points we want to get to in the backside is, think about this. It's the point that we can pivot and leave for third without hitting the barrel. So what does that look like? It pretty much looks like, so this is my third up here. This is my second. So if we were to draw a line from where we want to be at first, straight here, this is our point. This is our point. We want to be able to pivot here, leave nice and straight for third. So what that looks like when we go slower is we really need to make that our pocket. So when we're doing our pockets for our second barrel, we go nice and straight here. Our shoulders clear. We take a step forward. We really want to push them here. We really want to get them to that point where they can pivot and leave straight without hitting it. So that is kind of what it looks like pretty much when I do my horses. It looks like this. I go straight. We start our turn. I really drive them up to this point. I really want them to get here. Then I can let them pivot, leave straight, and have a nice straight line to third barrel. I don't really like to overturn my second and keep them round too long. I like to let them power on both their back legs, and I want them to kind of keep it a straight line. I don't want the overcorrection that comes with sometimes you overturn the second so much that when you go to a run, they kind of aren't in a good spot for third, and it's all about our approach. We really want to set them up for success, and that means finishing second in a way that will set us up for third barrel. So this is basically what it's going to look like, and I just want to give you the visual so you can see what it looks like on paper. So now I'll go show you what it looks like on horseback.
So once you have your first barrel down pat, you know your track, you're leaving nice and straight, you're overturned it slightly so you're in a nice straight line right to your point you need to be. I find second is by far the hardest barrel. I've heard it before, and I completely agree. Like, that is my hardest barrel, no doubt. And what has really helped me is thinking of looking really far to my point and even past it a little bit. Like, so if you imagine second barrel has a line directly from first to second straight through it, I think about getting there, and I call that it's your backside. And I really want to focus on getting to the backside, and that is it. And I try and simplify it as much as I can, where when I'm going up to the second barrel, like I said, my hands and everything, my hips, shoulders, everything is nice and square. So when I'm going up here, I want to stay as square as possible until I'm ready to literally turn. So here is where, in a perfect run, this is the point I would turn. The approach I like to keep as simple as possible, where I literally will drive straight ahead, and then here I adjust my body, and then I adjust my hand, and we're shaped for it. The thing about the second is I like to give a lot of room on the backside so they can pivot, leave straight, and get out of the barrel as fast as possible. And I find that isn't a common thing right now, but it has helped me a ton, and I'm going to show you kind of what that looks like. So like I told you before, we don't change our hand position going around. Our hands don't cross over, we stay nice and square, we're driving ahead, our inside hand is kind of in our hip, and see how there she's able to leave straight. The only reason she's able to leave straight like that is because I really push her around the barrel. So here we're gonna go in, I'm adjusting my body, pushing her around to this point, and then she can go. The point that I really want us all to get to is here. It's the point that we can leave straight without hitting it, and we really need to push our horses up there. So like I said, no crossing your hand over, no anything, just keep our inside hand where it is, open up our outside, and really drive them to that point, because I'm on a lazier horse who wants to turn, she wants to lock her legs, she doesn't want to get nice and free, and this is really good for those horses where you're getting them to shape up, you're getting them to push around, so when you go to run, they're gonna haul ass. Like they're gonna know that they're gonna push themselves up to the backside and they can leave nice and straight. So with her, I'm gonna go straight, adjust, push her around, and then see she can leave and be really powerful. And that, I think, is the ticket to a great second barrel. If you have any questions about this, please let me know. I'd love to help you out. And I hope this helps. Like, I find second, like I said, the hardest. So if we can master second, that's one less barrel that we don't need to worry about.
Now that we see kind of what it looks like on horses and how it should feel for you, I want to go over just a couple troubleshooting issues that we have with our second barrel and a couple tips to help us just perfect our second a bit more. The one thing that I think is so hard with second is shouldering, and it's how we react as riders that also cause the problem. And what I mean by that is, if your horse is going to shoulder, our instant reaction is to cross our hand over, point our hand directly to our other shoulder, and pray that they don't hit it. Well, the thing is with that is horses will really kind of fall into that sort of pressure. They fold in, and if we cross our hand over like that, they're just gonna pretty much, you can't hold a horse off going that fast with your hand and with the rein and with the bit. It just won't usually work. It might work for 1 or 2 runs, but after you've really developed a serious problem and it has become part of your horse's training, it's just how your horse is going to start doing it, and we really want to avoid that as much as possible. So if you find your horse is cutting off your points, what I would like you to visualize is thinking of lifting and forward. Think of lifting them up and driving forward, and we want to lift shoulder but move ahead, and it's a great exercise to try doing that with one hand. Have your hand more in the middle of your rein. Think of lifting and moving forward. So when we're approaching second, if they're wanting to slice into it, pick up the shoulder but move forward and then start your turn. So the exact same thing as I showed here. When we go forward, instead of crossing our hand over, think of lifting it and ahead. So we never want to cross our hand over a horse's neck ever, especially for second. It can cause some serious problems. So if your horse, if they do want to hit it and go into it too soon, they start their turn too soon, we really need to exaggerate the opposite. So we really need to get them past it. And again, like I said in the video of me riding, think of the line directly through the second barrel, and that's where we're going to try and aim and visualize in our run to go. So like what that looks like is here. And this has seriously helped me so much with my vision, where I'm actually looking in my run. I don't look at the barrel because, I know it's so hard not to do it, but saying to yourself or getting people tell you, don't look at the barrel. It's like, okay, I hear you, but it doesn't hit home. It doesn't really stop you from doing it, and you need something else to think about to stop you from hitting the barrel, not just saying don't look at the barrel. So I find when I did my imaginary line and I thought about here, that seriously helped me a ton. I was able to really push my horse to that point. So if your horse is wanting to cut in a lot, I would strongly recommend really thinking about this spot, driving them, lifting and moving them forward till you get here, and then starting your turn. And that will help you a lot, just getting them their shoulder clear, them actually freeing up and moving ahead. And again, when you do that, you get here and then you still push them to this point where you can leave and head up to, this is third here, head to third and get here to leave nice and straight. And there's a lot of variations per horse. It's going to change if you have a few very specific issues. Those are things we're going to go over together, but for the most part, this is it's going to stay the same. We really want to aim for these spots always. And again, we want to keep it as consistent as possible. So if your horse does have a shouldering problem, strongly recommend visualizing and thinking of lifting and forward to this point and then continuing to your spots as we just talked about. The other issue that I find, especially with younger horses, I've had this problem come up when I go faster, and it has to do with me pulling and them resisting. So on the backside of the barrel, I might want to pull them to finish it, and it causes them to pretty much beeline it back to first barrel, and they just totally refuse to finish second. This is a thing. It mostly is rider error. Again, I hate blaming horses. Horses sometimes do, it becomes a habit for them, but it's also how we're cueing them, which is causing this. And the big part when our horses refuse to really finish second, it has to do with the approach. Like I said earlier, if we approach it right, we're going to finish it right. So if we don't have the right approach, we're not really setting our horses up for success and giving them the best chance to complete their job to the best of their abilities. So when I have that problem, or if I see that problem, I need to question and think, how am I actually getting there, and how am I asking my horse to finish the barrel? Reasons why, if you pull your horse refuses, you need to watch your video and ask, where is your hand? If your hand position is really low, which it tends to get like that, I find, at least for myself, when I want to really finish a barrel, I pull and my hand's pretty low on my horse. And that is causing a direct resistance. I'm not lifting and guiding my horse's nose around. I'm kind of like just pulling it down, and that's causing them to want to go away from it. So if you have that issue, try and really be cautious about your hand position at any speed you're going, and especially in your run. Think of your approach if you're setting your horse up for success and getting to the backside, like we said. So all we have to do is just kind of guide our horses around to that pivot point and let them leave nice and straight. This might take a little while to really figure out and get that feel right, but I guarantee once you do, it is going to be a total game changer. So thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or about it, let me know, reach out, and we will discuss it this week. Thank you.